Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started here. Thanks everyone for joining. My name is Cameron Carlson, and I will be presenting alongside Stephanie Caravantes. We're very excited to go over the topic. We're gonna talk about San Antonio, Texas, some amazing investment opportunities, as well as we're gonna take a look at the market in general, take a look at an overview. So without further ado, let's dive in. So first, just want to introduce myself. I'm a licensed realtor here with Marshall Reddick. I've been here for a little over 2 years, and I've got the opportunity to work in all 4 divisions of the company, and we'll talk about what those divisions are here in a second. I have my bachelor's of administration from Vanguard University. I have a background in real estate accounting, loan underwriting, and I've worked in real estate property management. I have done transactions in 7 states, real estate transactions, and I'm also a Marsh Reddick Mortgage Fund investor. So some of you may be familiar with Marshall Reddick Real Estate, and for others of you, this might be the first time hearing about us. Essentially, we are a full-service real estate firm, and we have 4 divisions of our company. The first division is real estate. We help people buy and sell investment properties, as well as buy and sell their primary residences. Nationwide, we did around 600 transactions last year, and over 90% of those transactions we also manage as well. And that brings us to our second division, which is property management. We take care of everything for the landlord, from leasing to maintenance, renovations, rent collections, lease enforcement, and much more. Basically, all that the landlord needs to do is collect a rent check every month. That's our goal. The third division is private lending. So sometimes if you can't qualify for a conventional loan, you'll need private financing. Marshall Reddick provides non-owner occupied real estate loans to borrowers, a lot of times doing either fix and flip, new construction, or just purchasing long-term investment properties. The fourth division, you might have heard me mention it, is the mortgage investing. So the same way that you can own real estate and collect rent checks, owners or investors can own mortgages and collect mortgage payments. So I personally invest in the Marshall Reddick Mortgage Fund, which is a pool of capital together for the investors, and I don't need to think about it, and I just collect a quarterly distribution. And within all of that, as I mentioned, I'm a real estate advisor here. So Marshall Reddick's located in 11 metropolitans across the United States, and you can take a look here at our map to see where we are located. We've got the Bay Area, Los Angeles, Orange County, and Riverside, all in California. And then we move over to Texas, where we have New Braunfels, Austin, Texas, San Antonio, Houston. And then over in Tennessee, we've got Clarksville and Nashville. And in Florida, we have Cape Coral. And you may wonder, why these states? Why these markets? Well, as an investor, it's really important which market you choose, and there are several reasons why we choose these markets. Number one is we look for markets with strong economic growth, low unemployment rates, they have a stable job market. We also want a market where there is a high rental demand. These markets often are very landlord friendly, and they have a good ratio of renters to homeowners. In addition, these markets are very diverse in their economic industries. That being said, is we like to see a variety of very essential industries like military, medical, insurance, communication, information technology. Also, it's important that the market has a low barrier of entry. Our house is affordable for investors. Maybe the suburbs have affordable areas that are family friendly, good neighborhoods. We also want a good education system. It leads to well-educated tenants, more desirable school districts. Maybe there's a university in the market. And then one of the most important criteria is property management. There should be a good selection of property management companies that are competitive with one another to produce a good service. So you don't want to be stuck in a situation where you have a bad property manager and there's only 1 or 2 other property management companies nearby, and they won't provide much better service. And it's also another reason why we do property management. Property management really makes the purchase of your in transition very easy. It makes or breaks your purchase. So most of our staff either own or aspire to own investment property, including our property management staff. And so, as you know, we're very investor focused. We believe that we should only profit when you as the landlord profits. And so we charge a percentage of the rental income that you receive, and we don't charge a fee during vacancy. We also don't charge you for maintenance. So when you're spending and losing money on maintenance, we don't profit. I'd be happy to talk more about our management services on a follow-up call. Feel free to leave any questions in the chat or on a follow-up here. Without further ado, I want to introduce you to our keynote speaker tonight, Stephanie Caravantes. I've worked with Stephanie on many transactions, and she's very, very well versed in the San Antonio market. Stephanie, I think your mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I'm so sorry. I was having some technical issues. Sorry about that. Anyways, I think that you weren't able to hear me at all. So I'm just going to thank you all for being here again. Thank you, Cameron, for the intro. I know that it's a little bit late here in San Antonio, and you're about to be going out of work, going to your home in California and other states. So thank you for taking the 60 minutes. I know that it doesn't seem a long time, but time is money. So thank you so much for that. I've been a realtor since 2019, and that's when I started with Marshall Reddick as well. I was in the property management division actually. So actually my mom was a realtor in Mexico, from Mexico City, and I've been pretty much in the real estate scene since I was very little, but I never imagined to get into real estate like my mom did. So I moved here 11 years ago almost, so I consider myself a Texan already. And I went into, again, see what I was doing for like career-wise, and then I know that real estate here is amazing, and then I found Marshall Reddick Real Estate. I wanted to learn from the property management stand and then go from there. So I was a tenant coordinator back in 2019. I was communicating with tenants, owners, and then I went into maintenance, which I wanted to also know about maintenance. I communicated with vendors, owners. I got quotes for like major work, minor work. And then in 2021, I decided to jump onto the sales side, which I think it has been the best decision. I love the sales side. I've been doing like 100 leases per year, so total 200 units leased in the last 2 years. Of course, I'm bilingual, fluent in Spanish and English, and I have my bachelor's degree in international business. I went to school in Mexico, and I have sold over 30 investment properties. So again, real estate, since I was very little, I remember going to work with my mom. So I'm really passionate about it. And let me get into the next slide. And oh, I'm sorry, I think I went too fast. Let me jump back a little bit. Okay, this is our amazing team. I think each office across the US is the backbone of our company. So on the top right, you're gonna see the San Antonio office, which it was the first office when I joined Marshall Reddick that we had. We were a team of, I think, 5 people, and we have grown so much. It's incredible. And then on the top left, you will see New Braunfels team. This is the office that I'm currently in. On the bottom right is our office in Tennessee, and on the bottom left is our office in Florida. Of course, at this very center is our office in California, where Cameron is. Again, this is amazing people, very hardworking, that without them, we couldn't do our part, which is the sales side. They have the processes to a T, they have the infrastructure, they have a network of vendors, and thanks to them, everything runs very smoothly on the property management side. And you'll see everything very automated, everything online, and from communication from the tenant coordinators to the maintenance coordinators to the property managers. So again, it's a very well-oiled machine that it seems everything so easy, but I know it's not easy, because when I was on the property management side, it gets very chaotic. I definitely wouldn't like to self-manage a home. So they seem everything so easy and smooth. Okay, and the next slide, let me see. It's taking a little bit. Okay, I'm sorry. I think I went a little bit too far again. Perfect. Why Texas? Why Central Texas in regards to investment? Well, Texas, to begin with, is the second highest population state in the US, with a little bit over 30 million people. And during 2023, it was the #1 state where people decided to move to. And this is like recent info that we had. Again, I visited Texas and I fell in love with it and the diversity, and I just decided to, it was kind of like in a whim, but I decided to move here to San Antonio. It's just, to me, it felt very, very close to home, very diverse, and it's just like so much to do. Texas is very landlord friendly compared to states like California or like New York. We have a very easy, not that we want to get to that, but we have very easy eviction processes. We also don't have rent caps. I know that there's some states that they have like a cap on rents. We don't have that here. Very minimal rent control. Also, property code is not as strict as in other states. So it's very situated on the landlord favor. Lower market default during COVID. I think that I experienced this from the inside whenever I was on property management. I was a tenant coordinator, so I had to do rent collection calls, and it was very surprising that during COVID, that rate, the default rate, it was not much different that it was already. I think it went like around 2% default rate, which it was great compared to other states where they had like 4%, 5%, and up to 10%. So it was a good surprise. Trust me, I was working from home and I still had to go to the office and collect the rent checks and money orders because they were still coming in. So it was a safe market for during the pandemic times. Central Texas is a minimal disaster zone. So we're at the very center of Texas, at the very heart. So compared to Houston or areas closer to the Gulf or Oklahoma or states where they have natural disasters, Central Texas is very safe. We don't have tornadoes, we don't have tropical storms. So also that reflects on the cost of insurance, which of course for investors that maximize low cost of insurance maximizes cash flow. We don't have, I know that there are states where insurance companies, they're pulling out. I have heard California, some parts of Florida where they're pulling out and insurance is getting a little bit more expensive. So luckily, Central Texas, we don't have anything like that, other than I think the snowstorm has been the natural disaster that we have had since I moved here, and that was pretty much us, Texas, being a little bit dramatic. But other than that, we're pretty safe here. Another one, Central Texas has the most diverse workforce in the US, and I do agree. Again, that's one of the reasons why I moved here. I'm pretty much living with what is called the American dream, because I came here, I pretty much started from zero, and in a matter of 10 years, I've been able to solidify my career. So we have a very diverse workforce, very good employers. The military workforce or employers it's one of the biggest. Joint Base San Antonio is it is the biggest joint base in the US and the DoD. So military is a huge thing here in San Antonio. I will show a map of the areas in San Antonio, but just so you have an idea, I divide San Antonio like in 4 parts. In every single corner of San Antonio, you will find a military base. So it's pretty big on that. Government, which goes hand to hand with the military. Tech is more concentrated in Austin, but as Austin has gotten a little bit more expensive, and we still have a lot of land in San Antonio and New Braunfels, which is right next to San Antonio, I think tech companies are going to start moving down. We do have Amazon warehouses, we have Tesla warehouses, so we're going to start seeing more migration of those tech companies from Austin to San Antonio eventually. Corporate, we have a lot in terms of corporate. Northwest San Antonio, it's filled with Chase, corporate offices, USAA, the Hartford. So you do have all these financial institutions, medical institutions that they have their corporate offices here. Industrial, again, we have Amazon warehouses, Tesla warehouses. We have huge manufacturers like Toyota plants, Caterpillar. So we also have areas where you have the industrial part. And of course, the medical. The medical comes in hand with the military employers. So we want to make sure that our military members and military retirees have a good medical care. So we have very few, we have a lot of medical facilities in San Antonio. So if you go north central San Antonio, you will find the medical center. If you go to northwest New Braunfels, you will find a medical center. So we're also big in medical. Another reason why to invest in Texas is Texas has right now a budget surplus, meaning that we don't have state taxes, which is that is already great. But the federal taxes that we pay, Texas has been able to have a 32.7 billion budget surplus for 2023. Which that means that the government is planning to reinvest that in school districts and infrastructure, and a part where the government is investing this surplus is Proposition 4, which just passed back in October of 2023, and it's great news for us Texans and also for investors. This proposition that passed is going to cut taxes. So it is an $80 billion property tax cut package, meaning that for primary home buyers or homeowners, the homestead exemptions are going to increase from $40,000 to $100,000. So their taxes are going to come down. For investors, there's a cap on appraisal limits now. So when an appraiser goes out there to the property, now they have a limit on how much that appraisal can go up, meaning that that's going to be tax savings. Another point is that taxes for school districts are going to come down. Even though we're investing that budget surplus in school districts, then your school district tax in your bill is going to come down, which is going to be, again, result in tax cuts. Okay. And then we have the properties under management in Central Texas. We have 3 main markets, which is Austin, again, very tech oriented. I know that, I'm pretty sure you have a good idea that Austin was one of the cities that grew the most during the pandemic times. A lot of people from California moved to Austin. It just boomed really bad during the pandemic. Right now, we're seeing we've seen Austin to soften in regards prices and rental rates. So it kind of reached a cap and now it's more like stable, but still it's a little bit more expensive than New Braunfels and San Antonio markets. So in Austin, your entry point is going to be around $350,000 for a Class A property that is going to have good rental income and good tenants. Versus New Braunfels market, you can find anything in between $270K to $320K on the high end for A-class property. San Antonio is going to give you even more inventory or more possibilities in regards to inventory. You're gonna find anything between $250 and up to $320 for A-class properties. It's just going to depend what area in San Antonio you are aiming to. These 3 markets are a little bit different from each other. However, we're projecting to have a metro area just like Dallas-Fort Worth in the next 15 years. Distance-wise, they're not far from each other. San Antonio is like 25 minutes from New Braunfels. New Braunfels is an hour from Austin. And there are 3 strategic points where, like, in the future they're going to be together. So anywhere in San Antonio is going to be pretty much connected to New Braunfels and Austin, and vice versa. I think New Braunfels has a beneficial position because it's right in between San Antonio and Austin, but also Northeast San Antonio is just an example that the proximity to Austin is also making that part of San Antonio booming. But these 3 markets are the ones that we focus on in regards to San Antonio and surrounding areas. And this is the appreciation trend in San Antonio. I just wanted to show you so you have an idea of how we base our appreciation trend whenever we connect with you and we run numbers for you. So this is pretty much giving you the average sales price in the last 25 years in San Antonio. And this side, the numbers that you see in green, this is the appreciation based on like year over year appreciation increase. And the appreciation that we go base is like a compound of these numbers. So we're gonna take all the positive, all the appreciation or positive appreciation, as well as the bad. Whenever we had 2008, 2009 recessions, we take all that in consideration to give a compounded appreciation. So it's very consistent what we show to our clients. It's very, obviously, it's based on data. It's based on the data for the last 25 years. And you can see what you can project for the next year, and if you're holding for 50 years for the next 15 years. And down here we have kind of the price range properties in San Antonio according to class. We have A class, B class, C class, and D class. And I think these sale prices have actually moved a little bit. These were based in 2022. So these sales prices were a little bit higher than today's sales prices. We know that 2023 with high interest rates, sales prices soften. So you are going to see a little bit of a different range in this table. I will say that today you can see A-class properties in San Antonio starting from 260K and obviously 260K and up. And then B-class properties, you're gonna find them from 250 to 260 to 70. So this has moved a little bit. Again, 2023 was a year where the market softened, and right now is a great spot if you're looking into buy an investment property, because we're still in a buyer's market. So a lot of new construction builders are giving have an inventory, a good inventory with lower prices, and also they're giving concessions to buyers. And a lot of pre-owned sellers, they're giving concessions, and since they're staying longer on the market, they're more flexible in regards negotiating. I think that from the last 4 offers that I have submitted with pre-owned inventory, like 4 of 4 have given us the 2% concessions, and some of them have adjusted or bring more flexible on the sales price. So I think that this is a little bit, this has adjusted a little bit, but we're still at par of this. And the top employers in San Antonio, like I was mentioning before, military is very big in San Antonio. So you're going to have the U.S. Army and the 5 joint bases in San Antonio. HEB is a major employer here in San Antonio. HEB, I don't know if you have heard of it, is a grocery store chain. They're a great employer. I actually worked for them when I moved here. Have great benefits, great pay. So it's one of the major employers, as well as Walmart. I think HEB is more appreciated here than Walmart, just because they're great and it's a great employer. But Walmart is very big as well. Amazon warehouses, you're gonna find Amazon warehouses in South San Antonio, Northeast San Antonio. Between the stretch of San Antonio and Austin, there's actually a new one that it was built just right next to Highway I-35 that connects to Austin. And Austin, of course, it has at least 4 Amazon warehouses at the moment. USAA, being a military city, is very big as well. Wells Fargo, Chase, they're in the part of Northwest San Antonio. Wells Fargo, Chase, and USAA, they're situated there. And we have, again, a lot of manufacturing as well. It doesn't show here, but Toyota is one, Caterpillar is another one, Tyson. So again, this shows that San Antonio is very diverse regarding employment. And this is, I love this cheat sheet because it's going to show you exactly or summarize exactly each area in San Antonio. And this is the one that I was looking forward to show you. So we have Northeast San Antonio on the bottom right. And this is the area actually that I live in. It's growing very quickly. It's developed, but we still need a little bit more of shopping areas, which later in the presentation, I'm going to show you like plans that we have for this area, or that the city has for this area. But since it's still developing, you can find affordable prices. It's more, at this point, it's leaning more towards manufacturing employment. You have Amazon warehouses very close. I think that Northeast San Antonio, it's a great location because you have 3 major highways, very accessible, that they're going to take you to San Antonio, they're going to take you to New Braunfels, and they're going to even take you, I-10 takes you to Houston. So it's a great location if you still want the affordability, but like easy access to New Braunfels, meaning Austin as well, and easy access to downtown San Antonio. So maybe I might be a little bit biased because I live in this area and there's a lot like planned for this area, but I think it's a great area for the affordability. We have, as of right now, we have the Firm Shopping Center. There's plans for like doing a bigger, like it's a huge plan for multi-years land. And then we have Retama Park. It used to be like a horse racing stadium, but now it's more used for events, other events like bikes, like car races and all that. And we have a lot of new construction here. Again, there's a lot of land available here. So we have We have even multifamily new construction. We have single family new construction. So you do find a good chunk of inventory in this area. And I will say price points you can find from the 260s, 255s and up, of course, depending on the features of the property. Then we have North San Antonio. In North San Antonio, you will find the highest concentration of medical and white collar. And this is because it's very close to medical centers, and it's more like a coveted area compared to West and East San Antonio. There's a lot of shopping or luxury shopping around. We also have UTSA, which is the University of Texas in San Antonio. We have this high-end hotels or resorts that they kind of feel like they're in the hill country, but they're still within the city. So this is more like, again, like a coveted and luxurious area in San Antonio. Prices there, they're going to be definitely higher. There's communities in Bulverde is the city in North San Antonio where prices are from the high 300s and even like higher. They offer great amenities though, like super luxurious amenities. And we have a few investors that have properties there, but they, within San Antonio market, they bet more towards appreciation because cash flow is not going to be as good as in East or West San Antonio, but it has a good appreciation rate. And then West San Antonio, which is also kind of like hill country. It's a very established area. There's a lot already that it was developed from a long time ago. It's a little bit more dense in population compared to East San Antonio. I remember when I moved here, I also lived there, and traffic is a little bit heavier just because they more older communities plus the ones being built. But it's also a great area. Again, on that side of town, you find these corporate offices for banking institutions. So you have that employer base. You also have SeaWorld, you have Six Flags, you have La Cantera Shopping Center. So it's going to be a little bit touristy for people that they come to San Antonio and they want to visit SeaWorld or Six Flags or go shopping. Here on this side, we also have Lang Lang Air Force Base. Just I was mentioning before, each point in San Antonio there's going to be a military base. So West has Lackland Air Force Base. The north side has Camp Bullis. The east side has Randolph Air Force Base. And then the south is going to have Fort Sam Houston, and there's another military base that I completely forgot. It slipped from my mind, but there's actually two in South San Antonio, one more towards Northwest San Antonio and the other one like closer to downtown. South San Antonio is going to be a lot of like culture and a lot of like restaurants, a lot of shopping, a lot of art events, and a lot of gentrification. So I do tend to let my investors know that it's not yet a good time to invest in South San Antonio. It's going to get to a point that it will, because it's just going to be like downtown Austin, which is going to be a very artistic area of San Antonio, very lean towards events, arts, and like it's going to be, there's a lot already happening in there, but there's going to be exploding. But just yet, it's not the area to invest just because you have a lower tenant pool, like quality tenant pool. You have a little bit more like high rate of evictions, and also there's no property classes is more like pre-owned, older construction, or there's going to be completely renovated and more expensive, even more expensive than North San Antonio. I think it's just right now not a good time to invest there just yet, but it will be. It's just getting so gentrified that it will be. And then next we have, actually, this is one of the new new areas that we're going to have in San Antonio. So there's a lot of new projects. Again, we have a lot of land, so there's going to be a lot of major projects going on, which is going to attract more people, which I see that why Texas is very attractive for people to move to. This is one of them, and this is actually already open, but it's getting more developed, of course. It is Victory Capital Performance Center in Northwest San Antonio. This is a Spurs center. So our basketball team is the Spurs. So everyone love them. Everyone is about them. I like them. So this is a new center that they have. It's for them to train. They have very high technology equipment for sports, and it's going to be there's going to be more to it. So there's going to be a small retail shopping. Of course, it's going to be Spurs theme, and there's going to be actually, I think, 2 bars, if I'm not mistaken, or a club and a bar that is going to be also Spurs theme. So they're adding to it, but it's already open. It's going to be, of course, a major attraction whenever it's like fully completed. It already is, but they're going to go full and blown in the next years. And in Southwest San Antonio, we have Port Sam San Antonio new office. Port Sam is it's like a building that hosts several employers. All of them have to do with technology. Just like Austin has Apple, has Google, has Tesla, we have this building that is going to be turned into this massive building and very tech oriented. Again, the building hosts about 80 tenant customers, meaning all the tenant customers are tech related, cybersecurity, just development on AI. They also have a science academy, so they teach young kids they are interested on STEMs topics to go into these areas. But yeah, this is going to be a major building, and we're also looking forward to it. This is going to be in Southwest San Antonio, which again, this is one of the reasons why South San Antonio is growing and is going to get to a point where it's going to be just as far as downtown Austin. And then we have Sante 51. Sante 51 is a project that is going to be in Northeast San Antonio, the one that I was mentioning before. This is a 51-acre project and is going to be a multi-use master development. So right now they have a sheriff's office. That is the first building, which is a huge sheriff's office. And the next one is going to be apartment complexes. And then they also want to build hotels. They want to build shopping centers, retail centers, restaurants. So it's going to be a huge project that is going to bring a lot of revenue to Northeast San Antonio. I do see property values going up, so I'm excited for mine. And it's just what we need in Northeast San Antonio. Again, prices in Northeast San Antonio, they're very affordable right now. And if you include these developments that are happening, there's a new grocery store being built as well. It just adds to the value of Northeast San Antonio. We have also Randolph Air Force Base right next to this major development. So yeah, it's definitely growing a lot. And it's just, I think in the future, it's going to get to the par of New Braunfels price points. And so I would like to go through current and upcoming investments. These investments are properties that are actually for sale at the moment, and these are ones that I like to share with my investors because numbers wise they work very well. They're in great areas with good school districts. The first one is going to be a pre-owned property in Cibolo. Cibolo is an area of a suburb of San Antonio that is right next to, it's between San Antonio and New Braunfels. It's a little pocket. It wasn't on the radar of investors until last year, I think. We had more investors looking into this area. It has a great school district and award-winning school district, so that's also a pro. The high school is very famous because they had a football team that has gone to state championships and they have won. So they have a lot of resources focused on that team. And again, it's an award-winning school district. This property, as you can see, is pre-owned. The price point is at I'm sorry, I didn't bring my glasses. It's 276 to 75. With pre-owned, we look that it is pretty much turnkey, that if you have to do something, it's not going to be a major repair that is going to cost you a lot of money. So the specific home that you're looking at, it just needed paint in the kitchen because the color was like, I believe like a bright color, and just a cleaning, and that is visually. Of course, that whenever we go under contract, we do a third-party inspection, and then anything major we will either negotiate or try for the seller to come down in price. But in this one, it was pretty much, again, turnkey, aside of like some painting, and that was pretty much it. And the area is a great area. Not a lot of rental inventory, so that is good whenever you're looking at a good investment. There's areas where in San Antonio and New Braunfels that you're going to see a little bit more competition because there's a more few properties for rent. And there's areas like Cibolo where you're going to have, because it hadn't been on the radar for investors, they're going to have way less competition. So here the rental price point, it was between 18 I'm so sorry, I'm going to get a little bit closer, 1875, and that's a very conservative amount because we account for the season of the year. So right now we are exiting for December, the holiday time frame, so it's still a little bit slow. December and November are definitely very slow. Right now, we're getting out of that season where everyone was concerned about Christmas, Thanksgiving, and now they're focusing, okay, my lease is ending, I gotta move. So you will see your investment capital needed, which is the sales price plus your down payment plus costing costs and any initial repair costs that you see with painting or cleaning, or even maybe have to replace a carpet. And you down here you have your fixed expenses. So your fixed expenses is going to be your mortgage payment, your taxes, your insurance costs, which again, Texas insurance is very affordable. Your management fee, which typically during the first year because we want you to see the service that we provide and the value that we add as a property management company, we do the first year free PM. This again, it's depending on the property and it's depending on the realtor, but this is what I like to do with my clients because I like them to experience the whole team and the whole service, and we know that you're going to love it and that you're going to just stick with us. Then HOA fee, HOA fees in San Antonio, they're pretty typical. There's a few neighborhoods, in older neighborhoods, where you don't have an HOA fee, but an HOA is always like your second set of eyes. So they are looking at the property and what the tenants are doing, if they're doing anything crazy while you are not there present. Utilities, we don't account for utilities on landscaping because tenants are typically responsible for that. Or I'm not saying typically, they're responsible for that. Unless the home is vacant, then you will be responsible for that. But as long as you have a tenant, they will be paying for the landscaping or doing them themselves, and utilities are going to be their responsibility as well. So this will be here on the green box, your income after those fixed expenses. This is taking in consideration that interest rates are still not at the point that we would like them to be to see cash flow. This is a pretty good long-term investment. Because it's also going to give you a good appreciation rate. You're right there, right next to New Braunfels, so your appreciation is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, like 4.3, yes, 4.3 appreciation. Great school district, and again, the rental market softened last year, but then you're going to see the rent increases. And typically what I used to see in 2021 and beginning of 2022 for this area, and for the square footage, this was a more like 1950. Hopefully we go back there, and of course this is going to be the cash flow, if it's going to be even higher. Down here you have variable expenses. Variable expenses is you're not going to have those expenses every month. That's depending on the property and depending on the area, is what we project for you to save every month. You put it on savings, and then a rainy day you can pull out that from savings and not make an expense out of pocket. So here we project the maintenance to be, because this is a pre-owned home, between 6% and 7%. Let's say everything is well taken care of. Of course, we do our inspections, make sure that the AC is not failing or anything like that. But after 3 years of you purchasing the home, because it's a little bit like an older home, the AC has to be tuned up, or I don't know, the water heater needs to be replaced. So then you have those savings for whenever that happens. Again, you don't have to come out of pocket. Same with vacancy. The vacancy, we recommend you to put that aside in case your vacancy is over 30 days, which is what we project for the area, type of home, school district. We know that this home, we're looking at 30 days on their rental market. But if for some case the rental market softens just like it did in like 2023, then you have this aside to pay your mortgage and don't have to pay it out of pocket. And down here is your income after those variable expenses. Again, this is not something that you're going to see every month. So this is pretty much worst case scenario. This is what you're going to see. But your actual monthly income is going to be this one that you see on the green box. And again, this is a great, right now that interest rates are high, the rental market has softened a little bit. This is the scenario that most of our experienced investors look at, even like the property is taking care for itself or breaking even. Some of our investors, they don't mind a little bit of negative cash flow. This is another example of a multifamily building in San Antonio. Now, multifamily is going to be a little bit different, and you do have, depending on the area and depending on the actual product, you do have good chances to have positive cash flow and a higher cash flow than the one that you see on the one before. So this multifamily unit is a little bit under $1 million, new construction as well, meaning that you're going to have builder warranty. The first 2 to 5 years, you're not going to have to pretty much worry about anything, because if something happens, then the builder warranty is going to be there. Down here, you have your investment capital needed according to your down payment, and then your fixed expenses. Again, obviously taxes are going to be a little bit higher because it's a multifamily unit. Your insurance is going to be a little bit higher. Again, it's just way more square footage and 4 units in one building. Down here, you're going to have the monthly income projector for this one. This multifamily is in Northwest San Antonio. So it's one of these established areas. This is actually within a master community. So the master community already has a elementary school, middle school, and high school within the community. So it's a great location. It also has great HOA amenities. And your prospect pool there is going to be all these people that work within the military bases again, or this banks on the west side, USAA, Wells Fargo. So those are the major employers there. And this is like about 700 and something monthly income. And of course, after variable expenses, you're going to see that a little bit different. But again, this is not what you're going to see every month. This is what you're going to see every month on the green box. And I have a bonus property. This is not in San Antonio. This is in New Braunfels, which is right next to San Antonio. And after this webinar, if you want to connect later with Cameron or with myself, we can definitely give you more info about New Braunfels area, which is the proximity to Austin. Again, 50-minute drive from New Braunfels and Austin. This is why it's the second city after Austin with the most growth in 2022, and I think 2023 is right there as well within the 10 cities in the US that grew the most. So this is a bonus because we partner with the builder, 210 builder. We partner with them. We have a great relationship, and they've been working with our preferred lender, Reed at CMG, which Cameron is going to give you more info here shortly. And they are doing a forward commitment. Forward commitment helps to give, the builder is able to offer you a lower interest rate or special interest rate of 4.75, which it's not, it's so low right now in this market, and you're not going to see that rate. And I don't know when you're going to see that rate again. Back in COVID times, yeah, and lower than that, but right now that's unbeatable. But that interest rate is going to maximize your rental income. And if you see down here after fixed expenses, that is great. That is performing very well. And of course, you're going to have rent increases. The appreciation is also very good. Of course, it's closer to Austin. So we even have tenants that they live in New Braunfels because it's a little bit more affordable, and they commute to Austin. Actually, my husband will live in Northeast San Antonio, and he doesn't work in Austin, but his company services Austin. So he's in Austin probably like 4 days out of the week. But we like the affordable prices. So we have a lot of tenants that they commute from New Braunfels to Austin, and they don't mind as long as they can get a better rent rate. And of course, the hill country feeling. And New Braunfels, it used to be a German town, so there's also a lot of art festivals, and we have Canyon Lake, which it's very big in summer. A lot of people in Canyon Lake doing a lot of water activities. So again, if you would like to get more info about this one and the special interest rate, Karen and I will be happy to give you more info. And I'm going to hand it to Cameron again.
Thanks, Stephanie. You did an amazing job. I really think you covered the market well. For everyone on the call, we would love to connect with you, Stephanie and I, together on a follow-up. If you have more questions, that would be awesome. But we're going to continue the presentation. As she mentioned, Reed Hazard, and we'll talk more about Reed right now. He's our preferred lender. We've worked with Reed for over 18 years now. Not only is Reed a great lender and gets amazing rates, but he's also an investor. So Reed owns property in multiple states, including Texas. He's had investment properties for several years now in Texas, and so he knows the market. And I would encourage you, if you're going to use a lender who knows the investment side of lending as well. He was one of the top in the nation, which is amazing to say that. And Reed actually funds 95% of our loans, which is cool. So when I mentioned we did 600 transactions last year, Reed funded 95% of those transactions. If you want any more questions on Reed, he's a good next step. Before purchasing a property, you're going to need a pre-approval letter, and Reed makes that very quick and simple. He lends in all of the states that we operate in, as well as more. So if you see here on the PowerPoint slide, you'll be able to see all the states that he actually lends in. And kind of moving forward, if you guys have more questions or you want to dive deeper into the market, we have really, really great resources on our website. You can check out our website. Here we have a market data packet. So we release these every year. It gives you an idea. We kind of dive further into the economics and demographics of the market. You can find that on our website on marshallreddick.com/San Antonio, or if you follow up and let me know, I'm happy to provide that over to you as well. And same with that is I would encourage you to take a look at our Reddick property rating ebook. So in this ebook, we'll go over different property classes, what makes those property classes, and then it'll help you determine which type of property best fits your goals and criterias. So if you're wondering what's the next step, I'm ready, let's go. Next step is a consultation with myself and Stephanie. Feel free to reach out to both of us. There's going to be a short couple questions here after the webinar. Feel free to answer those in the best way possible, and those give us good feedback. They let us know if there's anything specific that we can either change, update, or follow up on. We'd love to answer your questions, so feel free to reach out. And yeah, we look forward to connecting with you. Thanks so much, everyone, and have a wonderful night.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.